Life is not about entitlement, it's also about service. It's not what you can take, but it's also about what you can give. And for me, that is one of the triggers that has happened, that where I felt that I am in service of my family, I am in service of my business, I am in service of my team. And for me, that is a very important part of my leadership style. एक तो आप डिसाइड कीजिए आपको हंगर है कि डिजायर, इन दोनों में फर्क है. So that is important. You understand the difference between hunger and desire. Because for hunger, you will do what it takes to get you there. You will make the sacrifices that are needed to get you there. A desire is very passive. It is like, mujhe chahiye. Just because you want it, it's not going to come to you. So for me, that is the first thing. I'm a non-CA. I'm a non-IIM. I wasn't a management trainee in Unilever. Non-MT. I'm brown. I'm female. And then still I made it to global CFO of a global market leader ice cream business. So.
Hi Anita, how are you?
I'm fine, Nidhi. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing good. And thank you so much for coming to our show Pursuit of Leadership. And ये मैंने आपको जैसे बोला था पहले कि मेरा एक सपना था कि अपने किसी बॉस के साथ में पॉडकास्ट करना एंड आई एम सुपर हैप्पी टू हैव यू ऑन बोर्ड सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग मी
Not
टाइम
at all. It's a privilege. Thank you.
एंड एंड आई जस्ट वांट टू शेयर विद एवरीवन लाइक आप वर्ल्ड की लार्जेस्ट आइसक्रीम कंपनी की सीएफओ हैं एंड आइसक्रीम का जिसका मोर देन 20% शेयर है एंड ऑल आर फेवरेट ब्रांड्स एक्चुअली मैग्नम बेन एंड जेरी मेरी मैग्नम फेवरेट है एंड वॉल्स दीज आर द वेरी वेरी स्वीट ब्रांड्स एंड आई एम लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड फॉर अ ग्रेट इंटरेक्शन. तो सबसे पहले अनीता वी वांट टू नो आपकी लाइफ आप अपने चाइल्डहुड में हमें ले जाइए कहाँ पे आप ग्रो किए बर्थ का हुआ योर एजुकेशन और आपने कौन कौन सी प्रोफेशनल डिग्रीज ली.
Okay. Yeah, you are now taking me back to 50 years plus. I was actually born in New Delhi, and I come from a middle class family. It was a nuclear family setup. My parents, four of us kids. Both my parents were actually self-made, self-educated. They were actually the first graduates in the family. And my mother was a banker. My father was working with Indian Airlines, and because he was with Indian Airlines, we could go to different metros in India. So I lived in Delhi, I lived in Chennai, I lived in Bombay, and later on in work, I started living in Bangalore. They actually inculcated a lot of middle class values for us, a quest for learning, hard work, and integrity. And I think, to be honest, all of us siblings, we have acquired those exact qualities. And I think for me, I imbibed a couple of more. One was authenticity, and the other was courage. So I don't know how it happened, to be honest, because, when I was in primary school, I was very introverted and I was extremely shy. In middle school, I think there was a trigger with one of my teachers, there were two triggers. There was one trigger with a teacher who taunted me, and there was another trigger with a teacher who actually encouraged me. And I think between the two triggers, I really flourished as a student and as a child. And but in that flourishing, I also got a rebellious streak. So, being the second daughter in my family, I always used to, fight with my mother on something or the other. And there was always this thing of standing up to authority to some extent. And I remember my mother's nickname for me was Jhansi Ki Rani. And to some extent, the teachers used to call me tomboy. And, some of my close friends, in fact, called me Sherni, to embody that courage. I was born in Delhi, then we went to Chennai. And, in Chennai also, that was another trigger because, suddenly I was thrown into a society where the language was different, the way people lived was different to, Delhi. So that also changed my personality a little bit. I acquired Tamil, which actually came in good stead, in finance because there are lots of Tamilians in finance. So that really helped me also. And then I completed my schooling in Chennai, and I completed my college in Bombay. Uh, I did my SEMA along with my BCom, and then I did my MBA from the University of Bombay. I specialized in finance. In fact, that's where I met my husband Sandeep. He was specializing in marketing, And in a way, I married my best friend, and we've been married for the last 27 years or so. We've got two daughters, Sharika and Sanvi. Both of them are in the early 20s. They are studying in the US right now.
ओके, दैट इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। एंड आप अपनी थोड़ी प्रोफेशनल लाइफ के बारे में बताइए।
एक्चुअली जब मैं पढ़ रही थी, जब मैं हाई स्कूल में थी, मेरे को एक्चुअली साइंस बहुत अच्छे लगते थे, स्पेशली
हाँ।
केमिस्ट्री, बायोलॉजी और मैथ्स. I used to really love it. And medicine, so certainly medicine was on top of my list. And then I used to read a lot as a child. I used to read a lot of fiction. Reading, like I said, a quest for learning was part of how we grew up. My father used to really encourage it. He would not encourage us watching movies, but he would encourage us reading all sorts of books, fiction, non-fiction, mystery stories, etc. So he used to have a collection of Perry Mason. I don't know, you guys are too young to remember, but there was a character called Perry Mason. He was a criminal lawyer. So my second dream role was to become a criminal lawyer. And then my third one, and those days, MBA obviously was a big thing. And then there was this dream I had that I want to do MBA. I don't think I knew what I will do after an MBA, to be honest, but it was like मेरे को MBA करना है. So these were my three, the list. And among those circumstances and in their long stories, it led to me choosing MBA. And then I also did my CMA along with BCom because my sister was already doing CA. So I wanted to do something hatke. I didn't want to follow her doing CA also, MBA also. So I decided I'll do CIMA along with my BCom, and then I completed it along with my graduation. And then I really, to be honest, I wanted to get into the IIMs. Unfortunately, I couldn't get through. But then I did get into the University of Mumbai MBA program, and then I chose Sydenham. And that's where, like they say, sometimes it's fate. That's why I met my life partner.
एंड आपने फिर अपने करियर की शुरुआत कहाँ से करी?
तो जब मैं पास आउट मैंने किया एमबीए से, मैं आई जॉइंड नॉन बैंकिंग फाइनेंस कंपनी दैट वाज कॉल्ड एप्पल इंडस्ट्रीज. एक्चुअली मुझे वहाँ ज्वाइन नहीं करना था. मेरे को एक्चुअली ब्रिक एंड मोटर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी में जाना था क्योंकि मैंने सीएमए किया हुआ था. आई यूज्ड टू लव कॉस्ट एंड मैनेजमेंट अकाउंटिंग. आई रियली लव्ड इकोनॉमिक्स, principles and practices of management. So actually I wanted to get into a brick and mortar company, and HUL was actually my dream job. So when I joined Apple Industries, I said, okay, what is the closest to finance that I can do over here? And then I decided to get into the treasury of the non-banking finance company. And then I used to do asset securitization, borrowing of commercial loans, placing commercial paper, borrowing. Those days, that was the first time India had opened up. So, we could take foreign currency loans. So I remember going to, what do you say, to the South Block or North Block, wherever the Ministry of Finance is, to get approval for drawing that foreign currency loan from the Asian Development Bank. So those were, my first initial memories of being in this role in the treasury of a non-banking finance company. But I didn't let my dream go. I really wanted to be in HUL. That was my dream company. And when HUL was hiring directly from the market, I applied. And there were two people who were on my interview panel. One was Ram Malya, the other was Chris Shank Shankar, who is now HR of Infosys. And I remember in that panel, they looked at me, and I was this sort of investment banking kind, I looked more investment banker. They basically looked at me and then they said, we don't think we see you in a factory. And I
हाँ।
remember answering that question saying that, but I can see myself in a factory. And I got hired. The long and short of it is, and then my dream came true. And the best thing was, as soon as I joined, the day I joined in Mumbai. They handed me a ticket, and they said, "Go to Bangalore."
ओके।
Okay, and now that was a big turning point for me because my parents were very evolved. They were very progressive, but they were slightly conservative as far as the girls were concerned. My father always used to say, I'll do whatever it takes in order to provide education for my girls. And the education that I'm providing for my daughters is basically the dowry. So, and he was quite progressive. My mother, she was a banker. She was managing a career and also managing four kids, on her own without a support system. But they were conservative. They always wanted us, around them, not going away from them. And I remember going home and telling my mother, I have to go to Bangalore. My father, thankfully, was traveling that day. So she said, no, you can't go. And I was like, this is my dream. So I actually told her, and I've done this 2, 3 times in my life. I actually told her, see, look here, this is my dream. Let me go. And if you tell me come back, I will come back. And
Ah.
thankfully, I had a cousin who was living in a very close cousin who was living in Bangalore. That also helped because she knew Chichaka, as we used to call her, will be there. So my mother allowed me to go. And then when my dad came back, they discussed with each other, and then they said, "Okay, no, fine," and they supported my decision. So for me, that discussion with my mother was very important that day. Otherwise, if I would have caved in, it would be a different story. So then I joined in audit. Then I went into the foods division. Dalda was the biggest foods division. I was the management accounting for Dalda. I did that for 3 years. I did audit, which was audit of Central Asia, Middle East, Africa. Remember that in 1994, global travel was not as common as now.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was a privilege to travel to Africa, the Middle East. That was the first time I came also to Rotterdam, because our treasury division used to be here and an audited treasury. So I did that for 3 years, and that was an immense experience, auditing different businesses of Unilever in different parts of the world. And then I spent about 5 years in the foods business, Dalda, then later Modern Foods. Modern Foods was also a great experience. It was a brand acquired from the government of India. We had to turn around the company. Fantastic experience, my first leadership opportunity as well. Then I got promoted as director in M&A, and I worked with Bobby at that time, and that was also a fantastic experience for 2 years. Then actually at that time I decided to become director. I was one of the few female leaders in that in the in and I said, and I used to be ridden by guilt because my two daughters, I would have to keep leaving them and pursuing my career, especially because Sandeep and I, we were managing dual careers, and he was in sales, I was in finance. There was always be split family at some point of time or the other. So I said, okay, now enough is enough. Let me take a career break because I wanted to be with my daughters. I think, if I'm not wrong, one was 2, the other was 5, and I took a career break. Then during the career break, actually, I couldn't. There would be always offers which would come. People would say, "Can you come and work for this? Can you come and work for that?" Just for a part time. So for some time, I worked in career break. I took permission from Sundaram, and I worked with a private equity company run by Pramod and Bala Maladi. I worked with them. And then later, I always wanted to come back to HUL because Sundaram had told me, you should come back, you should not leave. So I always kept that option open. And then I realized in my career break that, I really want to work. It's not. So I got rid a little bit of the guilt that I used to feel. So once I got rid of the guilt, I came back. Sridhar was there. And then that is when I came into CD Finance as the head of CD Finance. I did a short stint in AstraZeneca as the CFO for AstraZeneca in India. And then Sridhar invited me back into HUL. I came. And the CD Finance stint, it was a fantastic stint. I had a great team, I had great leadership. And in fact, it's one of the most high performing teams that I remember working with. And then I was the CFO for the home and personal care business. And for the next 10 years, I was doing various global roles, performance management, finance and procurement operations for Unilever globally, running the largest finance team in Unilever. And then I got promoted to be the CFO for North Africa, Middle East, Turkey, Russia. And then after a short stint in the transformation office, 2 years back, I got the privilege of being the global CFO of a 8 billion euro business of ice cream. And ice cream is a fantastic business because anyone you speak to and say you're in ice cream, it always brings a smile to their face. It's a market leader. We have some of the best loved brands in the world. So it's really a privilege to be the CFO of this business.
एब्सोल्युटली, मतलब 8 बिलियन मैं करोड़ में कन्वर्ट करती हूँ ना, वाओ, इट्स लाइक 70,000, ऑलमोस्ट 70,000 करोड़ का बिजनेस इंडिया.
Mm.
इफ यू जस्ट थिंक अबाउट इंडिया के पर्सपेक्टिव से एकदम इट्स इवन बिगर और ऑलमोस्ट एज बिग एज द लार्जेस्ट एफएमसीजी, राइट? सो ओवरऑल
That's right.
इतना बड़ा टर्नओवर है. एंड आपके बहुत ही ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग रोल्स हैं. आपने सेल्स के साथ काम किया है, मार्केटिंग, सप्लाई चेन. आई थिंक यू हैव लाइक ऑल थ्रू आउट एक्सपीरियंस, अनीता. दैट इज लाइक रिमार्केबल. थैंक्स फॉर शेयरिंग. सुनीता, मूविंग ऑन फर्दर, आपकी लाइफ में कोई ऐसा, बिकॉज आपकी इतनी जर्नी आपने शेयर की, पर्सनल जर्नी, प्रोफेशनल जर्नी, कोई ऐसा लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस जो आपका पर्सपेक्टिव है जिसने बदल दिया, ऐसा कुछ आप हमारे साथ शेयर करोगे?
आई थिंक एक तो मेरे दिमाग में भी आ रहा है। मैं ना छोटी थी तब, मैं आई थिंक आई गॉट मैरिड 25, so it would have been when I was 26. I was in my early 20s, my life was just starting, and suddenly I got diagnosed with a chronic illness, and no one in my family knew except for Sandeep. And when I went to the hospital and when the doctor told me that, one of the things which came to my mind was, why me? And it happens, right? Why me? Why now? अभी तो मेरे आई जस्ट गॉट इनटू HUL, मेरा ड्रीम पूरा हुआ, मैंने संदीप से शादी की, वो भी ड्रीम पूरा हुआ, अब मेरे साथ ये क्यों हो रहा है? एंड बट उसी जैसे ही मेरे को वो ख्याल आया, इन द वेरी नेक्स्ट मिनट मेरे को एक और ख्याल आया कि थैंकफुली ये मेरे लिए, मैं हूँ, मेरे को हुआ है। ये अगर मेरे फैमिली में किसी के साथ होता तो मैं शायद बर्दाश्त नहीं कर पाती।
या मतलब एकदम से
You know,
एक
it was
डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव है।
just when I was thinking that ये मेरे साथ क्यों हो रहा है,
हम्म।
immediately the next thought was, अच्छा, thanks, it is me, it's not anyone in my family.
हम्म।
एंड उस टाइम मेरे को एक एपिफनी हुई, बिकॉज मैं वी आर 4 kids, but for a long time we were only 3. My youngest brother was born 10-12 years later. So in that 3, I had elder sister, I had my younger brother, and I was the second girl child in the middle. मेरे को हर बार लगता था मैं क्यों पैदा हूँ, मैं अनवांटेड चाइल्ड हूँ। मेरे को ना ऐसे आई यूज्ड टू हैव एन इन्फीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स। हालांकि मेरे पेरेंट्स ने कभी ऐसे कुछ बोला नहीं था, एक एक नेबर ने जरूर बोला था ऐसे, कभी एक मेरे कान में भरे थे। सो मेरे को हर वक्त लगता था मैं मिडिल चाइल्ड हूँ, मिडिल चाइल्ड हूँ, एंड दैट वाज आल्सो वन ऑफ द रीजन फॉर माय रिबेलियस स्ट्रीक। बट उस टाइम मेरे को ये भी एक एहसास हुआ कि मैं क्यों हूँ, इज नॉट बिकॉज मेरे को एंटाइटलमेंट है कि मैं एल्डेस्ट चाइल्ड हूँ तो मेरे को ये एंटाइटलमेंट है, मैं यंगेस्ट चाइल्ड हूँ तो मेरे को ये एंटाइटलमेंट है। उस टाइम मेरे को ये एहसास हुआ, इट इज लाइफ इज नॉट अबाउट एंटाइटलमेंट, इट्स ऑल्सो अबाउट सर्विस। It's not what you can take, but it's also about what you can give. And for me, that is one of the triggers that has happened, that where I felt that I am in service of my family, I'm in service of my business, I'm in service of my team, and I'm in service of the larger society. And for me, that is a very important part of my leadership style and who I am today. Passion भी था, so as I grew I realized that for me, the 3 qualities which I feel I embody, one is curiosity, the other is authenticity, and the third one is passion and a bias for action. So मैं पहले सोचती थी ये बहुत बड़ी, these are all fantastic qualities etc, but as I became experienced, मुझे ये भी लगा कि जो आपके सबसे बड़े strengths होते हैं वो also आपके सबसे बड़े weaknesses होते हैं, बिकॉज जब आप उनको ओवर प्ले करते हो तो वो दे कास्ट अ शैडो, एंड दैट शैडो इज योर वीकनेस। जस्ट manage your strengths and your weaknesses, and the shadow those strengths create, balance them.
बट ये एक्चुअली बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है। मतलब आप जैसे बोल रहे हो, अगर हम मोस्ट ऑफ अस हम लोग अपनी स्ट्रेंथ पे ज्यादा फोकस करते हैं ना। पहले बोलते थे वीकनेस पे फोकस मत करो, कि वीकनेस
नहीं,
पे
तो
फोकस।
स्ट्रेंथ पे फोकस करना चाहिए, बिकॉज स्ट्रेंथ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, बिकॉज आप अपने आप को खो नहीं सकते। आपकी जो ऑथेंटिसिटी इज अ बिग स्ट्रेंथ, आपकी जो भी स्ट्रेंथ है वो आपके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है, यू कैंट लूज इट बिकॉज दैट इज हु यू आर। But you have to be self-aware of the shadows that cast when they get overplayed, not when they are in balance. When they are in balance, they are your best friend, but when they get overplayed, they become your worst enemy.
आई थिंक स्पेशली जो आपने पॉइंट बोला ना अबाउट टेकिंग अदर्स अलोंग, इसमें जैसे हम लोग बात करते हैं इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस, इवन आई ऑल्सो स्ट्रांगली थिंक अबाउट कि इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस विच इज अंडरस्टैंडिंग अपने आप की और अपनी टीम की, दैट दैट ऑल्सो हेल्प्स। एंड आई एम श्योर कि आपकी लाइफ में ओवर द years this is also bringing the not about taking the team together, that has given you balance। आपने कैसे बैलेंस किया?
So there was one of the best advice that I got in my life was from a coach. I think when I was, let's say, in middle management, and I think that is when you would have seen me, Nidhi, and to some extent, and you may recognize some of this. मुझे ऐसे लगता था सब लोग मेरे जैसे क्यों नहीं है, मेरे जैसे पैशन क्यों नहीं है, मेरे जैसे ऑथेंटिक क्यों नहीं है, एक आगे क्यों कुछ बोलते हैं, पीछे क्यों कुछ और बोलते हैं। मेरा मैं सीधे जो मैं हूँ मैं आपको बता देती हूँ, या मैं आगे कुछ बोलती पीछे नहीं। आई डोंट हैव टू फेसेस, राइट? मेरे जैसे क्यों नहीं है, मेरे जैसे पैशन क्यों नहीं है, समझते क्यों नहीं है मैं जो उनसे चाहती हूँ, दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग। आई वुड वांट people to be more like me. Why are they not like me? That would be in my head. But then one of the coaches, his advice to me was, don't lift people up to where you are. You need to bend to where they are. You need to bend to where they are because you are the leader. You need to bend because everyone doesn't have that level of passion that you may have for a particular subject. You may be driven by achievement, someone else is driven by relationship, someone else is driven by recreation or rest, or some other hobby, right? So they people have different interest. And so for me, then I realized strength is actually in the differences, not in the similarities.
बिकॉज अभी
And
आप
actually,
कॉम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हो, राइट?
yes. So when you have a team which is diverse, तो अगर मैं achievement oriented हूँ, I need someone else in my team who's relationship oriented. I need someone else in my team who's fun oriented. Yeah, I need someone else. I may be very aggressive, and I may be very let's say strategic. Then I need someone else in my team who's more operational. I may be very what do you say, aggressive. Then I need someone else who's more risk averse. I may be a risk taker and I need someone who's risk averse. So I think that really changed, and that was another trigger which helped me realize diversity is very important in the team. But if you need to encourage that diversity, you also need to have self awareness. And also, those diverse teams, there needs to be good talent density in that diverse teams, that they have their own strengths in their own areas. So for me, that was also another what do you say, another trigger to make me a better manager, a better person, a better leader, and where I am today. And especially it becomes even more important when you become a global leader, because in my performance management team, we used to jokingly call it, it's like the United Nations. Someone was from Africa, someone from US, someone was Dutch, someone was Pakistani, someone was Indian, someone was from Australia. So we used to have all nationalities. And the only way you can blend these diverse perspectives is by making sure that you're inclusive. And inclusive means you don't tolerate, you value those diverse thoughts, and you value that diversity.
एंड वही
And
डाइवर्सिटी
hence
आपको connect करता है, या
for me actually, hence from that middle management to where I am today, I used to when I was reflecting on this, I used to have what I call the 3D approach. Direct, drive, deliver. And if I reflect on my CD finance stint, and Nidhi, you will recognize this,
I
I,
can
I would
relate
say
to this.
I was in that zone. Yeah. But then what happens with that is when you leave, nothing stays, because it is all depending on your passion and your direction, etc., and your drive. But then now my style is more the 3 E's: envision, empower, energize. So
Envision,
you
empower,
envision,
energize. Wow.
empower, energize. So my job as a leader is to energize, because once you have the right talent density, the right diverse perspectives in the team, then actually they do a better job than you can ever do. Then your job is to support them and get the hell out of the way, and make sure that you bring energy, whether it is resources, whether it is recognition, whether you support them if they fail, because their successes are their successes, their failure is my failure, right? So you have to, that is the zone in which you are as a leader at that time. I think when more women come, this collaboration, this inclusiveness, this EQ driven leadership will come to the fore. I think even women who succeed today, a lot of them have to mirror some of the alpha male, the type of, let's say, insecure overachievement personality that is there, that is what everyone tries to mirror. But I personally feel the world will be a better place, businesses will be done very well when you have this approach. And to be honest, stood me in great stead. I love the teams I create now. My current team in ice cream, I mean, it's the proudest. And I think for a leader, the biggest test, will you work for your team, that team? If you are a subordinate to that leader that you have appointed, will you work for that person? And in my team, I can tell you, for each of them in ice cream that I have chosen, I would happily work for them.
वाओ, इट्स एक्चुअली फूड फॉर थॉट और आइसक्रीम फॉर थॉट। मतलब ये अगर हम क्वेश्चन लेंस अप्लाई कर ले तो इट्स अबाउट लाइक सिलेक्शन ऑफ टीम मेंबर, इट्स आल्सो अबाउट देन उनको कैसे हम ग्रूम कर रहे हैं और उनके साथ कैसे
Correct.
रेपो बना रहे हैं। ईच ऑफ दोस थ्री देन विल मेक अ लाइक अ बिग रोल इन मेकिंग अ ग्रेट टीम।
एंड ऑल्सो हाउ दे इंटरेक्ट विद ईच अदर। मेरे साथ ही नहीं, एक दूसरे के साथ वो लोग कैसे कोलैबोरेट कर रहे हैं, कैसे बात कर रहे हैं। अ लीडर का काम बिल्कुल कम हो जाता है जब उनकी टीम खुद ही करती है। इट्स सेल्फ गवर्निंग, दैट दे डोंट ऑलवेज कम टू द लीडर टू चेक, मेरे को आप ये करो। नहीं, you don't need to govern that team. The team is self governing, and then it becomes the most high performing team.
यस, हाई परफॉर्मिंग, हाईली मोटिवेटेड दोनों चीजें। ग्रेट। आपका कौन सा फेवरेट स्टेंट रहा? आपने इतने सारे रोल्स किए।
मेरे बहुत सारे फेवरेट
बहुत सारे
स्टिंट्स हैं।
फेवरेट्स हैं।
मेरी हर जो रोल है जो मैंने की है, आई रिमेम्बर मैं और संदीप डिस्कस करते थे। दिस वाज बिफोर वी स्टार्टेड आवर करियर। तो विद सम, अच्छा आपको क्या बनना है? तो संदीप का कुछ गोल था कि मेरे को बाय द टाइम आई एम 40 आई शुड बी प्रेसिडेंट, CEO, समथिंग लाइक दैट। सो ही हैड लाइक, मेरे को एक्चुअली आई नेवर हैड दीस टाइप ऑफ milestones in my head. My only milestone was the role that I am doing. I should do it to the best possible ability and leave it better than what I got. Not crib about, the bad cards that I was dealt, but more importantly, leave it better than what I got. So that has been my approach. Maybe it's naivete. I will not recommend it to others. I think there's a certain level of ambition, hunger that you should put into milestones. I would not recommend my approach, but that was what drove me. So for in every role I tried to do that. In every role I found a sense of achievement. I learned from great bosses. I also learned from the worst bosses, what can be done, because every person has a good side, and there's a, let's say, shadow side, and there is always something to learn from everyone. It's always learn. So if I look at some of the roles that really stand out for me, my first leadership role was the Modern Foods role, where I was the CFO of Modern Foods in India. It was in Delhi. The culture was very government organization related. I had very senior people reporting to me, and I was very young at that time. I was 33. The structures and processes were not like Unilever. Resources were very constrained. I couldn't even motivate people with increments or bonuses because we were a loss making company. So that stint taught me how to value people and recognize them through respect, not necessarily money, and motivate them without money. At the same time, with limited resources, be able to do a lot. And then, as a team, how we can turn around a company. So, from a hugely loss making company, we turned it around to break even in 3.5 years. And we got awarded, by the company. And then the company, Modern Foods, got merged with HUL. So that was a great stint. That was my first um, leadership stint. The other one that I remember with fondness is the CD Finance stint. I had just come in after almost 6 years outside Unilever, because for some time I was in Modern Foods, which was a subsidiary. And then I had to rebuild my relationships with the sales leadership, finance leadership. The team was new. The culture in HUL had changed dramatically from the time I had left. We were embarking on one of the most most ambitious programs to double our distribution reach in the country. Yeah, I was leading the biggest finance team in India in HUL, and they were spread across the country. Maybe you remember that. And then we did a whole lot to change the perspective of finance from stewardship function, sales, accounting, depot hygiene, to becoming a catalyzing function for growth, efficiency of spends, etc., right?
Yeah.
And then, we did so much work around trade terms efficiency, distributor profitability, the economics of new distribution reach. I remember when Jean-Marc, who was the global CFO, came, and we were showcasing our work done in India sales finance. He actually was so impressed that he actually made a global CD finance function, with GN ran later. And GN came, and I and GN were exchanging on what we did in India, etc. So it actually inspired a whole new function in Unilever globally. And we also won a lot of awards, if you remember. In sales, won the Compass Unilever Compass Award. Everything was not always hunky dory, to be honest, because there were a few things. Arjuna, you remember that? Nidhi, you were the one who had, so we detected
Yeah.
some issues which we corrected. They're all running, are in leadership positions, running the best organizations in India today. You work with the best, and for me, that was the most. I think one of the high performance teams that I really worked with, because again, there we were all diverse, but then we were united in the strategic vision of more stores, better served. You
Yes.
remember that? So for me, one of the other things for me in leadership, I always feel this: leadership is energy.
Energy.
You
Yes.
can either give energy or you can suck energy. My goal is that when I am there in a room, and I am one of the leaders in that room, irrespective of whether I'm a team member or whether I'm the senior most person in the room, I should leave the room giving energy, with an energy positive, not an energy deficit. हर टाइम नहीं हो सकता है ये, क्योंकि कभी कभी
गुस्सा भी
वी आर
आएगा।
ऑल ह्यूमन, राइट? तो कभी कभी हो सकता है कि हम स्ट्रेस में आ जाते हैं, वी मे बर्स्ट आउट एंड वी मे नॉट नेसेसरली बी कंस्ट्रक्टिव, बट वो बहुत कम होना चाहिए। ज्यादातर जब लोग आपके पास आते हैं, आप उनको एनर्जी देना चाहिए। इफ यू गिव एनर्जी टू पीपल, then actually that builds confidence, and that also builds impact.
तो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन टू यू अनीता ऑन द सेकंड सेक्शन इज लाइक आपको ग्लोबली, बिकॉज नाउ यू हैव लाइक ग्लोबल विजिबिलिटी, ऐसे कौन से आइसक्रीम के ट्रेंड्स हैं either which are like you're looking forward or some of the trends which you know making you scared or nervous?
अगर आप आइसक्रीम का बिजनेस देखें ग्लोबली, तो पहले तो आइसक्रीम एक कंपोनेंट है ऑफ व्हाट इज कॉल्ड अ स्नैकिंग एंड रिफ्रेशमेंट मार्केट।
Yes. Hmm.
उसमें स्नैकिंग में कन्फेक्शनरी भी आती है, चिप्स भी आती है, कोका कोला रिफ्रेशमेंट्स भी आता है, जूसेस भी आती है, आइसक्रीम भी आता है। तो वो जो मार्केट है ग्लोबली, वो 1 ट्रिलियन का मार्केट है, 1 ट्रिलियन यूरोस। इन दैट आइसक्रीम इज एन 84 बिलियन यूरो कैटेगरी, and that category globally grows at around 4 to 5% annually. Half of it is volume, half of it is roughly price, or improvement in mix, etc. So that is it. Now when you disaggregate that, there are different types of geographies. So in US, आपने देखा होगा यूएस के फिल्म्स में, लोग अपने काउच पे बैठे हैं, आइसक्रीम खा रहे हैं,
और टब से खा रहे हैं।
कप से खा रहे हैं, डायरेक्टली खा रहे हैं, क्योंकि वहाँ का वो जो कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर है वो वैसा है कि उनको धूप की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है, वो घर में बैठ के आइसक्रीम खा रहे होते हैं। वो उनका एक एक उनकी प्रोटोकॉल है, उनका कंज्यूमर। यूरोप में अलग है। यूरोप में जब सन शाइन करता है तो लोग बाहर जाते हैं, बीचेस पे जाते हैं, दे ड्रिंक, एंड देन दे ड्रिंक बियर, दे लव आइसक्रीम, सो देन दे हैव आइसक्रीम। So in Europe, it is all dependent on how good summer ice cream is, and people largely have ice cream outdoors, or on special occasions like Thanksgiving, etc., etc. So that is. Then when you look at the emerging markets like India, China, ये वो, तो हमारा यहाँ क्या होता है, largely out of home होता है, क्योंकि वो कैबिनेट के फ्रीजर्स होते हैं, लोग एक एक ले जाते हैं, और फिर जब धूप होती है, हमारे यहाँ तो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम धूप होती है, लेकिन people have a choice
Yeah.
कि आइसक्रीम खाएं, कि कोक खाएं, कि एक चिप्स खा लें, कि एक कन्फेक्शनरी ले लें, या एक चॉकलेट ले लें। सो यू हैव टू बिकम रेलेवेंट इन दैट मोमेंट, इन दैट कंज्यूमर मोमेंट, एंड दैट कंज्यूमर मोमेंट कैन बी इंडल्जेंस कि मेरे को कुछ चॉकलेट खाना है, या कुछ फ्यूअलिंग अप कि चलो जी भूख लगी है, कुछ एक्स्ट्रा होना चाहिए, तो एक सैंडविच बार आइसक्रीम का हो तो वो खा लें। देन यू कैन सब्स्टिट्यूट अ बिस्किट,
Yeah.
you know or a refreshment thing like एक water ice cream, अच्छा सा mango, lychee, that kind of flavor, so that then people say, I would like to have a natural flavor, but something which is watery, not very heavy, which I can have on a really hot sunny day. So those are the, but in some cases a lot of people buy ice cream but eat in home. Now the trends are, uh, we have the dairy players who are then moving from dairy into ice cream. So you have a lot of competitive activity in ice cream. So that is one, which is actually good because it helps drive category growth. Because if you look at emerging markets, the per capita consumption of ice cream, for example, in India is half a liter per annum.
And
And
you
when you compare that to the
US.
US, it is almost 9 to 10 liters per annum.
हाँ, 9 to 10
Hmm.
liters
Annum.
per annum, but
मतलब
that's
वो
also
हर
huge.
महीने ऑलमोस्ट 1 लीटर आइसक्रीम खाते हैं, रफली। मैं थोड़ा 1 लीटर से कम, बट वैसे खाते हैं हमारे यहाँ। मतलब हम 100 ग्राम से भी कम आइसक्रीम एक, yeah. So it actually, the headroom for growth is very high, especially in emerging markets, especially in the southern hemisphere. So because you can, तो वो एक trend है, competitive intensity but also helping category growth, right? Then the other thing is that you have lots of innovations coming, because ice cream can become anything. It can be a dessert like a cake, it can be a fueling up movement with a sandwich bar, it can be, I talked to you about bonbons, which is
Bonbons.
refreshment packets you can take and just eat one and then keep it. Yeah. And then you have the refreshment type, like like water ice cream, people can actually suck on it. So there are lots of innovations coming in that space. Like you have now chocolate bars which are almost ice cream, like you have, so lot of innovation. So the consumer will be delighted with the type of innovation that is coming. Technology is changing. Lot of people are having freezers at home, so the ability to store ice cream, take ice cream, quick commerce in India, and in many markets you can get ice cream at the this of a button. पहले आपको जाके लेना पड़ता था, आइसक्रीम पिघल जाएगा। अभी ऐसे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आप घर बैठे बैठे अगर आपको आइसक्रीम खाना हो, आप वो स्विगी पे ऑर्डर कर लें, आइसक्रीम आपके घर में आ जाएगी। So
Yes.
the opportunity of channels and innovations is very high. So that's a great thing. When you look at it from a supply side, weather becomes very important for ice cream, because like any, it has a little bit of seasonal variation, but equally quick commerce can help you negate that impact, because it is always 24 degrees on your couch,
Yes. घर
right?
पे बैठे तो सेम ही है.
आप आइसक्रीम आराम से खा सकते हैं। Now on the other side, which is what are the things which can impact, or what are things for watch out, is this new generation weight loss drugs, and there could be implications for all foods. So that is something that is still emerging. But equally, ice cream, people don't eat in like so much quantity. It's like small snackable size, and many players have become more diligent about कितना आप शुगर डाल रहे हैं उसमें। नॉन डेयरी ऑप्शंस होते हैं जिसको डेयरी नहीं खाना होता है, कैलोरी स्पेसिफिक आइसक्रीम मिलती है कि आप इतना ही कैलोरी खा सकते हो। सो द चॉइसेस आर देयर, सो दैट, but other than that, if you ask me honestly, I've done so many businesses in Unilever. I think it's the most fun business to be part of. It's lovely to be, let's say, overseeing a business which has some of the best loved brands in the world. एंड लाइक आई सेड, किसी को आप बोलो कि मैं आइसक्रीम में काम करती हूँ, तो उनके चेहरे पे एक मुस्कुराहट आ जाती है। वो पहले बार पूछते हैं मेरे को फ्री आइसक्रीम कब मिलेगा।
इसमें मिलेगा क्या?
Yeah, so it is really a fun category, and it's operationally very intense, because you have to make sure you have limited cabinet storage space, because it requires a lot of capital investment, because you need to have the machines cost a lot, the warehousing, the let's say, they cost a lot, and then the transportation costs, and then freezer cabinets, etc., etc. So it's operationally very intense, but also at the same time very exciting.
So move towards, I think, low sugar and the smaller size. That's also a trend, right? Because of the health
Snacking.
consciousness. Snacking.
Snacking is a big trend, especially among Gen Z consumers. Then calorie, non-dairy, plant-based. Those are real trends. Refreshment is a trend, especially in let's say emerging markets, because
Rapid fire round coming your way.
rapid fire. Yes,
आप
I'm
एकदम
prepared now.
ready? You're prepared? Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm sharing with you. Start easy से करती हूँ. Okay. Tell like one interesting book which has really inspired you.
So recently, I read a Welcome to Hunamdong bookshop. Okay, it was from a Korean author. Right now, I'm in the I keep exploring cultures. So right now, I'm in the midst of exploring, let's say, Korean culture. So I read recently this book, and I actually have a LinkedIn post on it. And I think there was one quote in that book which really called out to me. I think it said, "A successful life is life surrounded by good people. It is not success as society defines it, but because you are surrounded by good people, it's a successful life."
Now the second one, there is tell me a movie which never gets old for you. You can anytime watch it. It always gives you like the goosebumps and inspires you.
So the one which I really like, is close to my heart is DDLJ, Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, because that was the first movie I saw with Sandeep.
Okay.
And it was also a movie I loved. Kajol. Kajol is my most favorite actor. I sort of relate to her at a personal level. So for me, DDLJ will be one. Then among all the other classics, there are few which I always it's in my what do you say, in my repertoire. I always use it. So one is Chuck Day and Coach Carter, and because they are great tributes to team building
Okay.
and how best teams work together. Yeah, so for me, I always have that, and in any of my workshops, depending on it works, etc., I use it or I say it. They never go at old for me. So I think those are two on team building.
The third one for you. I give you a superpower and like you can go and travel back in time. What would you do?
Okay, this will require some thought.
Say whatever comes to your mind. It's a rapid fire.
I would take better care of my fitness. One, and then one of the things which I always regret is I didn't, s- I wasn't present for my kids. It's not that I didn't have more time with them. It's that the time I had with them, I was distracted. So I think what I would do is be present in that moment with them.
Wow, that is great. And the next one for you, which is also superpower, but a superpower which will help you to do become much more effective now. What would that be?
I would say reflection and thinking. More reflection and more thinking. Because मेरा क्या है ना, मैं एक्शन ओरिएंटेड हूँ. ये ये प्रॉब्लम है. Like I told you, what is your
Yeah.
biggest strength is also your biggest weakness. So मुझे कभी कभी लगता है, and I've become more self aware about it, and I hence take more time. अगर मेरे को उसको बैलेंस करना है, I would actually err more on the side of don't act, reflect more, think more, and then act.
As I'm moving on further, so if Anita, you see a person for the first time, how what's the first thing you notice, and what do you think about that person?
So मेरे को दो चीज़ें मैं नोटिस करती हूँ. एक तो उनकी आंखें, वो मेरे को आंख पे आंख मिला के देख रहे हैं कि नहीं. ठीक है, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है मेरे को. अगर कोई मेरा आंख नहीं मिला पाता है तो मेरे को, आई डोंट नो, आई जस्ट कांट, आई कांट, I wouldn't say trust them, but it's more like, I can't relate. I can't relate. I always feel something is missing. So that is one. And then I check for smile. Because for me, warmth is important. And when someone doesn't demonstrate warmth, then again, it seems something is off. So for me, these are two things that I watch.
So next one for you, if you are given एक घंटा में आपको एक्स्ट्रा मिल जाए आपको कहीं से भी एवरी डे व्हाट वुड यू डू
Sleep.
सारे प्रोफेशनल्स यही चाहते हैं कि सो ही जाए
यार मिलता नहीं है यार, नींद नहीं मिलती। मैं लोगों को ये बोलती हूँ कि जैसे आप बढ़ते जाते हो, आप सोचते हो आप सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन कर रहे हो, ठीक है ना? आपके मैस्लोज
हाँ।
theory of hierarchy, physiological needs, emotional needs, social needs, and then you go to self actualization. And then when you reach self actualization, which you think you've reached self actualization, actually you come back a full circle because you miss the physiological needs. Because you miss sleep, you miss the food that you can eat, because आप ट्रैवल कर रहे हो, मैं वेजिटेरियन हूँ, मेरे को खाना नहीं मिलता। तो आप वो कपड़े नहीं पहन सकते जो आपको आपको अच्छे लगते हैं पहनने के लिए। मुझे पैंट पहनना पड़ता है, मुझे बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं लगता पैंट पहनना। आई लव वेयरिंग इंडियन ड्रेसेस,
हाँ।
राइट? सो जो आपकी फिजियोलॉजिकल नीड्स हैं वो चली जाती हैं। सो इट्स नॉट इधर, वो कभी कभी आपको लगता है ना कोई और बहुत अच्छा कर रहा है, एक्चुअली उसमें हर चीज में आप जो चूज करते हैं उसके कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस होते हैं।
एंड अनीता, आपको अगर हम लोग को एडवाइस करना है कि 2025 एंड बियॉन्ड अच्छा करियर बनाना है, व्हाट वुड बी लाइक योर टू लाइक पॉइंट्स और टू स्किल्स व्हिच समवन शुड बिल्ड?
मेरे हिसाब से दो चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है करियर के लिए। एक तो आप डिसाइड कीजिए आपको हंगर है कि डिजायर है, बिकॉज उन दोनों में फर्क है।
अच्छा, बताइए।
बिकॉज फॉर हंगर you will do what it takes to get you there. You will make the sacrifices that are needed to get you there. A desire is very passive. It is like मुझे चाहिए, ठीक है? Just because you want it, it's not going to come to you. So for me, that is the first thing. Do you have a hunger or do you have a desire? And they will both have two different outcomes for the reasons that I just described. The second one is learning. Keep learning. Just because we finished MBA 30 years back doesn't mean that that is all that it needs. You have to keep abreast of current affairs, you have to keep abreast of economics, you have to keep abreast of what's happening in your industry, etc. तो आपको continuous आपकी revision, sharpening of saw needs to happen. So these are the two things.
इट्स लिंक्ड अ क्वेश्चन टू दिस, इफ देयर इज अ जाइजेंटिक बिलबोर्ड आपके घर के पास और कहीं पे भी, वेयर यू विश फॉर, आप क्या उस पे एक वन लाइन डालोगे?
मेरी लाइफ के बारे में होगा तो मैं लिखूंगी अ ड्रीम कम ट्रू।
Wow, that's so pretty and nice. A dream come true. Yeah, it is about you.
For me it is. I have gratitude for it.
So, if Anita, there is like a biggest myth about career, like we all say कि अगर आप एकदम आईवी कॉलेज के नहीं हो या सीए नहीं हो तो आप सीएफओ नहीं बन सकते. Do you want to debunk on that? Like, what would you say on that?
I would say I'm living an example of debunking it. So that is what I would say, is because I'm a non-CA, I'm a non-IIM. I wasn't a management trainee in Unilever, non-MT. I'm brown, I'm female, too brown, and then still I made it to global CFO of a global market leader ice cream business. So, and many people who have seen me, and many people who know me, some women, some men, they come to me and say, oh, that's very inspiring. And I think for everyone who's in that, let's say, deprived set like me, I think I give them reason to believe that it can happen, but you need to be hungry to make it happen, because it comes at a lot of sacrifices, it comes with a lot of um, let's say failures also. It is not a easy way. So you have to, but as long as you have your dream, you keep learning, you keep evolving, and you keep believing, it'll happen.
So, in 2025, what are you most excited about?
So for me, like I said, and I think you know it, that in early 25 I'm planning to move back to India.
Any messages which you want to share, or the leak, or maybe a different one for you? Leave the messages part that will come in the end. What is the legacy you want to leave behind?
यार मैंने ना ये लेगेसी वाला, मैंने आई रियलाइज इट्स टू बिग अ वर्ड, लेगेसी. जब when I was younger, I would say, oh, I want to leave this legacy of. Then I realized actually legacy वगैसी कुछ नहीं होती. At the end of the day, people forget you the very next day. For me, I think what I get energy from is making a positive impact. I say igniting positive impact. It can be my business, it can be people around me, it can be my family. And what I bring to the table is courage, curiosity, and service. And that is my sort of purpose. When things are not going right, I basically feel it doesn't matter, as long as I'm making a positive impact, as long as I'm doing something good, either for someone else through the qualities, unique qualities that I bring. That is, for me, that is, as long as I can do that and I leave a positive impact, give people positive energy, for me that is, that gives me energy.
Any closing message from your side? Anything for the people?
So the only I think I have one message mainly for female finance professionals or leaders, or who want to become leaders, because this is a journey that I went through. So I just want to share it. Maybe three things with them. The first one is get rid of the guilt, because especially if you are a mother, there are all these societal, your own, because I think when you become a mother, your own hormones tell you that you need to take care of the kids and you need to be the person doing. I think you have to find a way of getting rid of that guilt. For me, it was through my career break. I took that time off, then I realized it doesn't work for me, and thankfully that helped me get rid of the guilt. And because I was able to do that, yes, it set me back in my career a couple of years, but I personally feel it lengthened the runway of my career, because otherwise I would have given up at the first difficulty that I would have faced. Because I would have said, okay, now enough, I have guilt and let me go back. So for me, that is one, I will say, get rid of that guilt. Whatever is your way of doing that, please do it. The second one I would say is, don't be a superwoman. There is no need to be. There's no need to make cookies and cakes and also do the house run, then also do the house stuff, then also do the office stuff. There is no need. A few balls can drop, it's okay. It doesn't make you a bad mother, it does not make you a bad wife, it does not make you this. So there's no need to be a superwoman. I think there was a time in my life, in my 30s, I was trying to do everything. And I remember my sister once called me out and she said, why are you trying to be superwoman? And then it was like, again, a bulb went off in my head and said, why am I doing it? Because I was only doing it to myself, there was no expectation from anyone. So that would be my second advice. Don't be a superwoman. And the third one, and I think the most important, is that find a support system which will help you and which will support you. And don't be shy of asking for that help. Don't let pride come in the way of asking for that help. It can be your husband, it can be your in laws, it can be your parents, it can be your siblings, it can be helpers, whatever it is. Find a great support system who will, they say it takes a village to raise a child, right? So get that village, get your village around you, and then you will flourish. And trust me, the kids are fine. I remember telling my kids, when I went back after my break, my kids used to come to me and say, mama, why are you working on a Saturday and Sunday? And I would tell them, because I really love my job. But then I told them, I love you more than my job. But if you feel that you need me more than what I'm doing, just let me know, I'll leave it and I'll be with you. And I can tell you, both my kids never asked for it. And when I asked them today, was everything okay, they say, mom, you're great, you do what you do. They are my biggest
Hmm.
supporters today. Sharika and Sanvi, my daughters, they're my greatest cheerleaders today. So I would request that you create your ecosystem and your support system. So this would be my advice to my fellow female professionals, especially in finance, because finance is grueling.
कमिंग अपने लास्ट सेक्शन पे, थैंकिंग पीपल। आपको इतना, मतलब आप इतना सक्सेसफुल हुए अपने करियर में, एंड आपकी लाइफ में जो भी लोग हैं, उनको हम वी वांट टू थैंक देम।
तो आपको तो एक बड़ा लिस्ट बनाना पड़ेगा, मेरे पास एक पूरा लिस्ट है यहाँ पे। You'll have to put it as a ticker.
आपने से बोला ना विलेज लगता है, एक किसी की सक्सेस में भी एक पूरा विलेज ही लगता है।
पूरी विलेज है। तो एक्चुअली अगर मैं इसको बोलना शुरू करूँ, सो पहले तो मैं अपनी फैमिली को बोलूंगी।
हाँ,
और पहले तो मेरे माँ बाप जो अभी है नहीं, बट बिकॉज उन्होंने हमें प्रोग्रेसिवली बड़ा किया, हमको कभी भी दे दे मेड अस फील pride in being women and pride in being and helped us with education, with empowerment. So my dad and my mom. Then my adopted family, Sandeep, my husband, he's been such a huge supporter and of me, from my college days. There was a time in college when I didn't get the jobs that I wanted. He was always there. There were other people who had given up on me, but he was always there, right? There were other friends of mine, Sonal, Sushant, they were always there for me. Then, of course, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law. My mother-in-law is no more. My father-in-law is still there, KL Zuchi. I mean, I think they supported me even more than my parents would have done. My mother-in-law, she would treat me like her daughter, and then she was the pseudo parent. She would attend PTAs for me. She would drop my kids off to school. She would pack their stuff. So she was pseudo parent, and she did it with pride. And she did it because, and she was another super supporter of me. So I owe all my success actually to her. If there's one person that I have to say, who I owe my success to, it would be my mother-in-law, Sudesh Suchi. And then I can't say less about my siblings, Lalita, Raju, Ram, Krishna, because my brothers were there. My younger brother, he would get up at 7 in the morning and drop my girls to school. I tell him maybe I wouldn't do it for someone else's child, to be honest, if I have to do it. But he would do it selflessly for me. I can never forget that. My sister, there were times in my life she would give me that one trigger of, and I made some decisions because of that, and she was always there. Raju, my brother. So these, Sharika and Sanvi, my daughters, they are my biggest cheerleaders. And like I remember Sharika writing to me, Sanvi writing to me. So when I was in London, and I used to shuttle between London and Bombay. So Sanvi has written a very beautiful letter for me one day, very late in the night, 12:06 a.m. On how
हाँ,
she remembered Mama when there was a BTS song playing. There was a BTS Mama song, and she written a beautiful letter, which actually is always in my wallet. So that
wow.
letter is in my.
That is very
So
sweet.
there's
Hmm.
beautiful letters. My Sharika, she wrote a big essay on her mother, and how she's inspired by me for one of her college thing, which again I have a photograph of. Then, if I look at it professionally, I have a lot of people. I already talked about Ram and Shank Shankar because I think they recruited me into HUL, so they made a dream come true. I would say Steve Wiener and Graham Pitcatley because I think Graham Pitcatley was our CFO of Unilever. Steve was my boss. For the first time, they actually took someone from India, a girl from India, to come to London, allowed me to do an agile role, London, India. I would do 15 weeks, 15 days in London, 15 days in India, because my daughter was at that time in 10th grade. And in an agile time when, this was pre COVID, so, there was no such thing as agile at those days. So they allowed me to do that and gave me exposure to this global world, because otherwise there was no way I could have done this. And then there are other people like Sanjeev Kakkar and Matt Close, who helped me break the glass ceiling to become a CFO. Yeah, so that was that for me. I owe some of my success to them. Then, of course, there's a huge list of mentors and bosses: D. Sundaram, Ravindranath, Tapash Bhattacharya, Bobby Mustafa, Raju Thomas, Pramod Kabra, Bala Maladi, Sridhar Rammurthy. And then sponsors, big sponsors: Sanjeev Mehta, Leena Nair, Nitin Paranjpe, Lizanne Gray, Paul Logan, Dave Ingram. And then a whole list of friends, who have been with me through thick and thin, more importantly, thin, if you ask me honestly, because I remember them: Srinivas Phatak, Ritesh Tiwari, Sangeeta, Ali, Prabha, Kavita, Suparna, Priya, Sonal, Sushant. They were always cheering me. And, even when sometimes I had lost belief in myself, they would keep their belief in me. I can never forget that.
That's
So I would like to really thank all of them.
No, but thank you so much. I mean, thank you so much to your parents, parents-in-law, your husband, daughters, all your friends, mentors, and bosses. I mean, the as you shared, Anita, there is a whole lot of people who have played a great role. आपकी life में उन्होंने बहुत contribution किया है, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you for having so that we have a leader like you, Anita, with us, and आप inspiration हो बहुत लोगों के लिए. So thanks to everyone, and I really thank you as my a person I really admire. मुझे आपसे बहुत इंस्पिरेशन मिली है, स्पेशली टू बिकम बोल्ड. सो बोल्डनेस सीखा है मैंने आपसे सीखा है, एंड अबाउट द
Hello, good.
क्वालिटी ऑफ बीइंग ऑथेंटिसिटी. आई थिंक ये दोनों जो लर्निंग्स है मैंने आपसे सीखी हैं. सो थैंक यू सो मच, एंड आपने ये शो में आए, एंड रियली a big thanks to everyone who is be watching this.
It's good for me to share it because I just want to tell people that everyone can do it. It's not special. You can do it. That's it. So I hope if after this podcast people can still believe in themselves, that will be a big success for me.
थैंक यू एवरीवन. और परस्यूट ऑफ फाइनेंस लीडरशिप यूट्यूब चैनल को आप सब्सक्राइब करिए. बहुत सारी इंटरेस्टिंग एंड इंस्पायरिंग कन्वर्सेशंस हैं आपके करियर में सक्सेस लाने के लिए.